Who are you when you're at your lowest? Are you someone that gives up, seeks comfort, and are you someone that loses hope? Now these are things that can pretty much make or break you. And it's important to note that despite you feeling like that, sometimes it's okay to take a break. Sometimes it's okay to listen to your body and your mind, chill out a little bit. However, since the mind is very malleable, which means that you can pretty much program it to whatever you want. And again, there's capacity within this, so you can't overdo it at sometimes. However, I don't think a lot of us are overdoing it, just because of our mental limits just being they can be a lot higher if we tell it to be a lot higher, basically. So, what can we do with this when we feel down, when we have those sad days or whatever? And there's two things. You could either acknowledge it, use the rest to your advantage and listen to your body and mind and emotionally heal so that you can come back stronger and better. And in some cases, quite the opposite. And it's really hard to distinguish between these two because they can kind of come in the same sort of format. Again, things like burnout can be just a thing of your body and your biological mechanism within your mind to sort of seek comfort. It wants you to relax because that's basically what we're designed to do, right? Humans always want to seek comfort just because of like ancestral days where, fight or flight and those kind of hormones or whatever were necessary for survival. But we haven't quite adapted to the modern world, so you can experience kind of burnout quite quickly. So again, a lot of times when you mistake it for kind of taking a break and relaxing, oftentimes we can put more on the table. And what this can do is have a huge carryover to the rest of our life. Because if you kind of set an example to your body and mind that you're gonna relax and rest, at any given point that you face some kind of adversity or challenge, you're gonna basically do the same thing. So unless you absolutely need to, and you're self-aware enough to realize that, okay, I actually need a break, then yeah, take a break, relax, chill out. If you need to delve into a couple of bad habits whilst you're doing that, do it. But again, it's not something to be reliant on. It's something just to kind of reset. The same way you reset your PC if it's been running for too long, sometimes you need to do that. But what I urge you to do, even during times like this, is to self-reflect a little bit. Have some introspection and understand your core values for continuing on. Because a lot of times when you sort of feel the idea of burnout, it's typically because you're forgetting your core values. And it's really important to remember why you started. Again, if it's to do with a project or a dream project or a hobby even, why did you start it? And typically enough, the people who have the strongest willpower and the ones who can constantly keep going are the ones who basically aligns with their core values, and they can keep going despite feeling tired. And people like David Goggins, you might say is a little bit extreme, which he is, but there's obviously some things you can obviously take from people like that. With a grain of salt, of course, because you're not exactly him, are you? You're your own unique person, but you can kind of create the David Goggins of yourself, whatever that is, right? You could be the David Goggins of art, poetry, sculpting, anything really. But the main kind of foundation is the strength within themselves, which is basically having that purpose and value to keep going on. Now, if your purpose or value is to help others, and you really deeply resonate with that, it's going to be very hard for you to achieve burnout. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to, but it's going to be a lot harder than someone who, they like to help people, but they don't exactly deeply want that more than other values that they might have. And that's why it's really important to be introspective. There's no right or wrong path. Again, not everyone is going to want to have a deep burning desire to help others, and that's completely okay. Whatever resonates with you best is what you should kind of align your values to, because again, that's just your strengths and weaknesses playing its part, unless you have a huge perspective shift that changes your values. So for some people, it might be, their core values is achieving a better physique. For other people, it's achieving better money in their bank. For other people, it could even be as simple as treating others more kindly. The list goes on, right? So really understand yourself. Without the phone, without the device that you're on, really just take some time and actually think. Now, a lot of people are going to have different ways of thinking really well. For some people, walking helps, cooking helps for others, therapy for others, journaling for others, meditation for others, listening to music for others, even watching shows. Some people get a lot of self-reflection within that because the characters in shows represents who they are or who they think they are. So there's plenty of ways to skin the cat, right? I think that's the saying. So we use an example of someone who might have just, they've come home from a long days of work and they feel tired. Now, the concept of resilience and its role in kind of overcoming different challenges is going to be crucial in this kind of situation, because the person who's tired from their job, they're going to have two options, right? If one, their core values is they want a better physique and they want to be healthy, they'll probably go to the gym and eat something pretty healthy, right? Like a salad or something like that. Or you get the other side of the fence where they have no sort of value in that side of things, where they might sit at home, binge watch some TV and eat a bunch of snacks. Now again, you're obviously going to have those days where you're going to be like that. However, if one of your goals is to again be more healthy, then when you're at your lowest and you continue to be healthy, you've now developed a lot of character and resilience. And this is something that carries over to your entire life, because if you can handle overcoming resilience like that, maybe at your workplace there comes a challenge, a potential promotion or anything, you can handle it with so much more grace and so much more ease, because you've now gone through, your emotions, you're feeling tired, and yet you still carry on. You still do what needs to be done. And if you're going to kind of program your mind to sort of do that, then you can essentially achieve anything, because now you've told yourself, I'm going to do this, and now I'm going to fix this. I'm going to sort of solve this problem with a positive mindset. So any kind of sort of random hit and uncertainties of life might hit you, you're going to be able to kind of overcome it a lot better. And that's why it's always really, really important to pay attention to what you do when you're feeling down. And over time, you might even just get used to being more healthy, because you've developed this sort of neural pathway where you're, for example, coming home from a long day of work, you're still going to the gym, you're still eating your salads, and you're going to be able to provide more to the world and to yourself, because you have this character now that can overcome anything. And it doesn't even have to be with that. It could even be something as simple as making your bed when you don't want to make your bed. And again, for a lot of people who might be facing depression and things like that, or maybe just having sad days, even still, making your bed makes you feel accomplished. It makes you feel like you've done something. And that can encourage a domino effect where you start to build your own life up. And it's crazy because little things even like that, where you might think is quite little, can actually have profound effects in your life. So, if you're feeling at your lowest right now, it's cool to take a break, it's cool to talk to people, seeking help if you need to seek help. But if it's on the other side of the fence, where you can carry on doing things, that you understand that it's just an emotion and that you are in charge of your own mind and body, then you're already one step to improving yourself. You're one step to finding your core values, and you're one step closer to building a more resilient mind. So, thank you for watching. Take what you will from that. Peace and blessings to you all. And remember, if you are at your lowest, I believe in you, and you should believe in yourself. It's okay to face setbacks in life, but you'll get through it. You might be saying, how does a random man know that? Well, you've made it this far, so you can make it even further. Alright? Anyway, see you guys.